my beautiful souls. The Awakened Dreamer here to give you your daily tarot reading for Saturday, the 5th of February, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. And do keep in mind, per usual, general daily read for all 12 signs for the collective. So just take what resonates and don't stress over what doesn't. But thank you in advance for your likes, your comments, and if you haven't already, do subscribe and join this channel, this community. All right. The overall message for the day that I received from Spirit is less is more. Less is more. All right. Let me clip this on so we can pull some oracle. We're going to begin by pulling the 4 quarters of the day from the spellcasting oracle deck. All right. Let me do some initial shuffling. Bear with me. I'm kind of out of it right now. That is probably how you'll be feeling throughout this Saturday. All right. So do expect that, at least to a certain extent. For my beautiful collective for the 5th of February for this upcoming Saturday. Okay. Bear with me as I put them in the right order. We have 1 left as 3 just came out. Right from the top of the deck, we have the 4 quarters. An underlining focus on home, on your home life. You may be visiting somebody's home throughout this day or spending time in a different home environment, or be thinking about or planning for a new home situation, thinking about your sanctuary, or needing to just, I'm hearing keep to oneself within your home, all right? But there's also underneath it all a level of love happening throughout this Saturday, all right? It may be faint, but it's there. So we're beginning the first quarter with prosperity. Prosperity for the first quarter. And let's clarify this with the Gilded deck. Pull it right from the middle. The Knight of Pentacles, so a slow beginning to the day, but a focus on your prosperity coming in at a reasonable but slow pace. Feeling as if you are benefiting from the hard work you've been putting in recently. Being pushed to remember in this first quarter right off the bat that less is more. When working towards a goal of yours, when producing, developing for your business or your job, even your hobby, you're being reminded that it's not about pouring everything into it. Sure, yeah, put your passion, your heart, your soul into it, but over speaking at times, overdoing it, overselling, right? Even if it's you trying to acquire a new situation, overselling oneself, as weird as that sounds, over analyzing as well, as now what I'm hearing. Less is more, as Knight of Pentacles being this overall feeling for the first quarter. Reminders come through in more than one way in the first quarter, or maybe just one way, that prosperity is yours for the taking, for the acquiring, but you don't have to force it, okay? And then we have empowerment for the second quarter to wrap up the first half of the day. Let me fix this. I'm now hearing it throughout this day in general, especially in the second quarter. Don't be afraid or feel any kind of way about stepping back and stopping for a hot second to reassess in a very simplistic way. All right. Again, don't overdo it. With Temperance coming up for the empowerment card, it's the second quarter of the day as you make your way to wrap up the first half in general, where you're pushed to have a level of patience and instill some balance into oneself, into your situation, to empower oneself. A reminder that when you're patient, when you accept the pace of things, the progression of things, the natural destined timing of whatever you're trying to achieve at this time or get off the ground, that's when you're most empowered, right? When you don't expect things to happen super quickly, or you don't expect things to go a specific way, just more so adapting and empowering oneself through patience and a level of understanding that everything happens when it's meant to and how it's meant to, right? And change is a must. It will come through as well. A simple reminder. Simplicity is truly a message throughout this entire day, all right? Let your emotions and your passions throughout the second quarter teach you something or remind you something, all right? And I love this. We have talent for the third quarter. to begin the second half of the day. Let's see what this is all about. We got the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands. All right. And I truly feel like you're reminded to begin the second half of the day that due to the immense amount of talent that lies within you, that you've been putting forth towards a business, a project, a hobby, maybe multiple situations. And I feel like even a change, in the way you communicate, the way you persuade. And a reminder once again that that can be done in a simplistic, balanced way. But you're being told and you're seeing firsthand proof in, I feel like, more than one way. For some of you, just one big way, that things are falling into place, aligning for you. You're seeing progress, results for what you've been putting your efforts towards, being aligned with this prosperity card and the Knight of Pentacles. You're going to see a level of prosperity coming in, financial gain, more clientele, attention, praise, some criticism, yes. But in the midst of all of which, how can one complain, right? Feeling as if you're just seeing things work out for you, and it's a sort of, it's a very ecstatic kind of moment. But I feel like you're not over exuding yourself at this point in the day, feeling like you have a lot ahead for you in the upcoming days, weeks, months, a busy chapter to expect. So just kind of dancing with life at this point in a balanced way, or at least trying to, feeling like there may be some noise around you at this point in the day, but it's just as if it's hard not to focus on the prosperity that's pouring in at this time. A focus on what's working feels hard to ignore. Horrible wording, but you get my point. It's hard not to focus on what's working, the prosperity, the abundance at this point in the day. People just seeing you in a very talented light, and it's just like, yeah, I am. I feel like you do something better than a lot of people, and it's very apparent, okay? Finishing up the day and the spread, we have commitment. Commitment, all right? What is this all about? I'm hearing more than one thing. More than one situation. Five of Cups, I feel the need to pull one more. With the Queen of Swords, you're thinking about a commitment you want to move towards in order to cut another one out of your life or another unhealthy situation. Potentially thinking about how you don't want what you move forward with in the future, whether it's a relationship situation, whether it's a new living situation, new job. It could be more than one thing for you, more than one situation. You're going to recognize at this point in the day that it's just hard at this point not to compare, feeling like you do have a little bit of downtime, potentially, to overthink or to compare what you're moving towards to what you're dealing with now or dealt with in the past. Try not to do so, as it is a brand new situation or multiple brand new situations, and you need to remember that you need to re-empower oneself by simplifying it, remembering again, less is more. Not only with where you're heading, who you're moving towards potentially, or both, but in one's mind, right? Especially when you think about when you have that downtime or those moments of simplicity, to wrap up your day, it can be pretty easy to move towards a level of overthinking and to try and minimize that, to expect the best, to not overdo it, and to keep that balance or just finish up the day in the most balanced way. Have patience with oneself as you readjust your expectations potentially, or just re-expect the best, right? It's only natural to compare at times, especially with all that you've dealt with, right? The ups, the downs, and whatnot. We're going to pull some more tarot, a small layered spread, if you will, all right? To continue for this upcoming Saturday. Spirit's saying that this is a good reading, but I potentially overspoke, and that's again another reminder that will come through in this throughout the Saturday, to keep it simplistic in what you say, your approach. Don't overshare as well. That's key moving forward and throughout this day. We have the Page of Wands in reverse coming out in the center of the reading. So there's something about this day where you're not anxious, or there's just this lack of a fresh, passionate start that you desire moving forward. That being most likely. But with the King of Wands coming out and the King of Swords, there's this balance of your masculine side coming out, of focus on it, feeling passionate and being pushed to sit back in your throne and understand that you have the knowledge and wisdom within you to make the best out of what lies ahead, even if that's multiple situations. Somebody gets you more than you think, and I feel like that's a romantic situation, or the potential of which. But I do feel like it's a day where you're reminded that just because you have all this knowledge, this wisdom, this experience from similar situations in the past doesn't mean you need to overcomplicate it and and overdo it all the meanwhile, keeping in mind that you do have the passion and the talent within to see success come to be when it comes to what you're moving towards. Naturally, with the Knight of Wands coming out, keeping that fire alive inside, but in a very manageable way where you don't over exude, over do it to the point where you burn yourself out naturally too quickly, right? With the Sun card, a true reminder comes through throughout this day that completion's a must. Your happiness is important, and what you're moving towards or planning to move towards soon enough is going to bring you an immense amount of happiness. Just a need to cope with what you're dealing with at this time until you make your way towards the sun, this light, this happiness that you deserve. Let's pull one more before we wrap it up. Six of Swords. We're not going to actually end on that note, but there is a true focus on what you want to move away from throughout this day, and a need to simplify your mind once again. It's now coming through as moving away from overthinking and this habit or inclination to overdo it. The Ten of Pentacles coming out. A reminder, I feel like, especially towards the end of the day, that financial stability lies ahead for you. Prosperity, once again, is part of your future. And you will see a lot of success come to be as you move towards the upcoming days. But to keep it simple, as a reminder throughout the entire day, once again, less is more. All right. So I hope this reading was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you have the most amazing Saturday, and I'll see you next time. Bye.